Hi, my name is Antonio Newton, your local realtor with the Newton Group at Coldwell Banker, and welcome to April 2021 Market Stats. If you're thinking about making a move to the Northeast, or if you're moving in from out of state and moving to Northeast Columbia near the Fort Jackson area, it's imperative that you know what's going on. Even though it's a seller's market across the nation, different communities in different areas are experiencing different levels of that. So it's important that you know the data, you know the facts, you know the numbers, so that you can make an educated decision. Before we dive into market stats, please remember that you can connect with us on our YouTube channel at Antonio Newton Realtor. You'll find all of our market stats, the ones for the Columbia and the entire Midlands area, as well as just for Northeast. You'll find our Facebook Time to Talk Tuesday feature episode. You'll find our After Coffee, our interview series, as well as Home of the Day, and tons of other video content. You can also connect with us on our other social media platforms on LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, as well as Twitter. And I'd like to take this time to thank our local sponsors, ColumbiaNortheastHomeshow.com, as well as Better Way Properties. And please remember, these stats are for Northeast. So when we're talking about Northeast, we're talking about zip codes 29016 Blythewood, 29229 Columbia, 29223 Columbia, and then the Richland County portion of Elgin 29045. Now these are only single family residential homes. But if you have a specific area that you would like for me to target or get you some statistics and some data on, please let me know, or a specific neighborhood. And I'd love to be able to sit down with you and give you a no obligation, a free home evaluation for you as well. Okay? So let's dive in. So when we look at what the Northeast did, if you are a homeowner in the Northeast, I think you will be ecstatic about these numbers. So you look at, we're up 39% in terms of total sales. So we had 292 for the month of April versus what it was in April 2020, which was 210. Now keep in mind, now all these stats, all this data, we're now going back a year, still in the COVID pandemic. So these are reflective. So we'll see how the growth has still been able to happen even though we're still in the pandemic. When you look at home values, we're up 16%. So last year, the average home price was $224, and now we're at $260. So average is anywhere from 3 to 6% is how much home appreciates in a normal market, or what the statistics say. But we're seeing 16% is tremendous growth. And as we dive deeper into the numbers, we'll be able to see why it's been able to grow so rapidly over the past year. And also, when you look at the total number of active listings that we have in this area, we have 604, which is down 40% of what we had last year, which was right at 1,000. So we see that low inventory, high demand, is causing the prices to rise, which is why we're up 16%. When you look at that, you look at the list to sales price, we're over 100%. So for the month of March, we were at 100.8, and now we're at 100.45. which means that homes are selling for over list price. And in the month of March, they were at 36 days on the market, and now we're at 27 days on the market, which is below 30. So that means we're having a lot of cash transactions because a lot of loans generally take about 30 days to close on average. So if our average is 27 days, we have some cash transactions that are closing quicker that's bringing that down. And then you also want to look at what it was compared to last year. We're blowing those numbers out the water. Last year, the average days on the market was 55. We're at 27. Last year, the average list of sales price was 98.92, which is phenomenal. We're at 100.45. Last year, as I mentioned, the average sales price was 224. Now we're at 260. So all these things are indicating that we are still in a hyper-aggressive seller's market. But I think what you'll find shocking, what I'm doing this month and I'll do from here on out, is break it down by price points. So we know, as we mentioned, our average price point is $260, okay? So when I break it down, once again, just talking about Northeast, 100 to 200, how many active listings do you think we have today? And today is May the 6th. We have 18 active listings on the market right now, total, between 100 and 200,000. That's not a lot of inventory. We have 167 pending, and we have 70 that closed in the past 30 days. So when you look at the 167 pending, because we know most are entering in multiple offers. So let's say each one of those that are pending had 2 offers. One got accepted, one got rejected. That means you got 167 people fighting for 18 properties. So what do you think happens then? Somebody pays above list price. Somebody may be willing to cash out a 401k and pay cash. Somebody may waive an appraisal contingency. Somebody may waive a due diligence contingency. So all these things are happening right now in our marketplace because of the low inventory. So now when we go to 201 to 300,000, we have 54 active listings. We have 505 pending and 133 that closed out. So that is the one where we're seeing a big discrepancy between what we have pending and closed versus what we have active. And then once we go to 301 to 400,000, we have 29 active. We have 177 pending, and then 38 that closed in the Northeast area. And this is resale as well as new construction. And we know what's going on with new construction right now. A lot of builders have put a halt on build jobs and are just selling spec or your standard homes and competing with resale. And then when you look at what's happening at demographics between 401 and 500,000, we have 21 active properties versus 39 pending and 15 closed. So we see it definitely balances out there. Starting once we get over 300, it's still a seller's market, but it's not as aggressive, which is why we're talking to those homeowners that's at the 100 to 300, because they can be able to sell, and when they move up, they don't have quite as much competition, even though it's still a seller's market. And then when we look at 500,000 plus, we have 25 active properties, we have 32 pending, and 11 that closed. So all the data still shows that we're in a seller's market, and that doesn't look like it's going to change anytime soon. All the magazine articles and reports are saying they'll probably continue like this through 2021, and that we may start to see some change in 2020. Also, it's going to be dependent on what happens with some of these new bills and how the market reacts to that. But nonetheless, if you're thinking about selling, now is a great time to do it. Even just have the conversation to know, gather the information, gather the stats, gather the data, so you can know and make the best decision for you and your family. And if you're thinking about buying, let us know so we can make sure we position ourselves. Depending on our price point, we're going to be likely in multiple offers and have a lot of competition. So we need to do things and be as proactive as we can so that we can make our offer stand out. We can make our cake stand out based on the ingredients that we put in. Each offer is compiled of a bunch of different earnest money, purchase price, closing date, contingencies, etc. So anything we can do to make our offer stand out will be tremendous. So don't hesitate to give us a call. You can reach us at 803-608-2597. Once again, my name is Antonio Newton with the Newton Group at Coldwell Banker, and thank you so much for tuning in to April's market stats for Northeast Columbia. And I look forward to seeing you next month.